Driving is a skill that is pretty much mandatory in today's modern society, especially in places like North America where roads are a more practical way to get to places like work, school, stores, and anywhere really than it would be to say walk or bike. And for many people, driving is just as mundane an activity as anything else they would do during the day. But for an increasing number of people, they unfortunately develop intense anxiety and fear at the idea of driving themselves, and in worst cases even being in any car at all. It's become so common in people, in fact, that it's a recognized phobia known as Amaxophobia, and the subject of today's video. Amaxophobia's direct definition is the feeling of being anxious and fearful of driving or being in a vehicle. It is said that around 5% of adults deal with Amaxophobia, but driving anxiety in general is experienced by over half of America. It's especially been on the rise in younger people, where about 1 in 4 teens are afraid to drive, and many are holding off on getting their own driver's licenses. Now, I personally have experienced the feeling of being too afraid to drive. The idea of driving myself at all would make my heart race and my nerves shaky. And sadly, because of my fear, I ended up missing out on a lot of opportunities and times with my friends that I can't make up for. And I guess that's why I feel such a need to make this video. For how much we rely on driving to get around today, I just don't want other people to let their fears dictate and disrupt how they live, like I did mine, and miss out on the things they want to do. So today in this video, I am going to discuss Amaxophobia, driving anxiety, and why people experience it. And full disclosure, remember that there are professional resources and specialists that you can reach out to help you with driving anxiety and Amaxophobia. And if you are really experiencing this, I would highly encourage you to look into it to help you through it. Although I am talking about this subject, at the end of the day, I am not a licensed professional. I am just a small YouTuber talking about a problem that I think me and many people can relate to. Also, if you enjoy this video, please give it a like and a share, and if you want to see more videos I make, please consider subscribing to me. But most of all, thank you so much for choosing to watch my video. I really appreciate it. So Amaxophobia can be caused by many different reasons, like for example a traumatic experience, such as a previous accident, or really just any negative experience in a vehicle. This is a very common cause in fact, as even experienced drivers have developed Amaxophobia from events like these, making them not want to drive out of fear of getting hurt again or worse, and in worst cases ending up with PTSD and other disorders from the event on top of their driving fear. They could also begin to doubt their confidence in their driving abilities, making them become overly cautious when driving. And while it is good to be a cautious driver, being overly cautious can make you overthink simple maneuvers, making driving more exhausting and stressful than it needs to be. Media and other people's personal driving experiences can also be a factor in someone's Amaxophobia, because I think we can all acknowledge that there isn't exactly the best content based around driving. I mean, there are thousands of videos that you can find online showcasing road rage, accidents, and just straight up idiocy based on it. And to mention the negative statistics as well from articles that don't always put driving in the best light either. And even in real life, when talking to people that you know, a lot of times when someone talks about driving, it's not usually for a good reason. Usually they end up complaining about traffic and other driving inconveniences. But lack in driving ability is another reason, and it's one that I sympathize with a lot. When people are first learning to drive, or after just getting their license, they still might not feel they have the necessary skills to drive on a daily basis. They might still have struggles with handling traffic, bad weather, and a very common one even for experienced drivers, merging onto a highway.
Oh my god.
And because of this lack of confidence, they might choose to not drive at all, out of fear of hurting someone or themselves from making a mistake. But confidence is key when driving. Like I said in the previous point, if you're overthinking and overanalyzing every little thing you do while behind the wheel, you won't be able to make the right decisions and you'll have trouble being comfortable driving. But confidence is only built on constant practice and repetition. Like how athletes constantly have to train and practice to get better, you'll have to do the same thing to better improve your driving as well. So now that I've mentioned some of the common causes of driving anxiety and Amaxophobia, what are some ways to help you overcome it? Well, I think a good place to start, especially if your Amaxophobia is severe, is to talk to somebody. Whether it's a family member, a close friend, or even a licensed professional, talking about the issue is always a great start. and licensed professionals could even prescribe things to help you with your anxiety, among other therapies to help. As well as looking at more positive media on cars is important too, especially with articles, where statistics they might show can have a way of inflating an issue to seem bigger than it is. Numbers have a way of stigmatizing or scaring a person about something, especially when you're dealing with numbers in the millions like with cars. And I think when you realize that the numbers aren't as bad as they might be made out to be, you just can't let negative statistics scare you from driving. And on YouTube, there are plenty of creators that discuss driving technique and other knowledgeable information on cars that could help you better understand vehicles and driving as a whole. There are even driving classes and tutors that you can sign up for to get more experience behind the wheel, while also getting tips to improve your driving. But overall, improving your driving fear comes down to just doing it more. The more you drive, the more comfortable and better you get overall. You'll get to know your car, learn the roads you travel, or even how to handle tricky situations. You'll be amazed at how far you've come from not even wanting to sit in a car to being able to drive in whatever condition you're challenged with. Amaxophobia and driving fear can improve over time, and believe me, it will make your life better. Cars today open the world to you. You can go wherever you want, do whatever you want, and achieve whatever goal you're striving for. And I think when we can better understand driving and be more knowledgeable about it, the better we can overcome the fear of it. Don't let your amaxophobia or driving anxiety get in the way of living your best life. I want to thank you so much for getting this far into my video. I'm going to leave some sources in the description that can help further your knowledge on the subject and could go more in depth than I probably could. I hope you got something out of this, and if you haven't already, please consider giving me a like and subscribing to see more of my videos. And with that, my name is Sean, and thank you so much again for choosing to watch my video. See ya.